Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about Dungeons & Dragons, and I want to talk to you about an absolute bright element, a shining element of joy, which is Matt Forbeck's official Marvel Multiverse role-playing game, which is, he knocked it out of the park and has accomplished something truly tremendous, truly special, and truly unique with this incredible tabletop role-playing game. And I'm going to tell you what he did that I don't think has ever been done in any tabletop role-playing game before. So first of all, get your butt to your FLGS. Buy this thing with cash if you can. If you're short on cool points and you got to go, get this thing. Get this hardback. It is incredible. I am absolutely stunned with what Matt Forbeck has accomplished with the Marvel Multiverse role-playing game. I am so excited about this new Marvel canon hardback. All right? Okay. So what did Matt Forbeck accomplish with Marvel Multiverse role-playing game? I have never seen this before in my life. You're about to hear something that Scott Garibay has never said before. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about Dungeons & Dragons, because every time a D20 is rolled on this planet, any polyhedral dice is on this planet, you're witnessing the legacy of Gary Gygax. He birthed Dungeons & Dragons and brought that thing into the earth, onto this planet in 1974, and forever changed how humanity engaged with identity, how humanity engaged with narrative, how humanity engaged with mind, body, and spirit. It's so tremendous what he accomplished, right? And so I don't really consider Dungeons & Dragons a game. I consider it an experience, a transformative experience. It's not just me saying that. They said that in D&D Direct. Joe Manganiello literally said he was having elevated conversations with people who had transformed their lives and correspondingly the cultures they live in with Dungeons & Dragons. It is a transformative experience. It's incredible, right? So, the reason why Dungeons & Dragons is so valuable is you can tell any story in any setting with any group of identities, right? Dungeon Master, performers, go, right? New narrative, new identity opportunities, new life. It's incredible, right? So, you know how I feel about Dungeons & Dragons, and you know what I think about Dungeons & Dragons. And so let's put that on a shelf, right? Dungeons & Dragons is his thing, right? What Matt Forbeck did with Marvel, with the official Marvel, this is incredible. Marvel Multiverse role-playing game is made by Marvel. It's not like Conan is not owned by Modiphius. There's a remove there, right? They're like the people who own Conan, the Conan estate goes, we don't know what a tabletop role-playing is. We can't make that, right? We have to go get a company to do it. Marvel's like, no, we don't need a company to make a tabletop role-playing game. We're gonna go find the disciple of Gary Gygax and have him build our Dungeons & Dragons game. And that's what Matt Forbeck is. He worked directly with Gary Gygax, and Matt Forbeck is, in my humble opinion, the reason Gary Gygax is listed on page 2 of the Marvel Multiverse RPG, and why Dungeons & Dragons is literally listed on the cover of the Marvel Multiverse tabletop role-playing game, right? Marvel Multiverse RPG. That's the actual official title, right? I own the first printing, and I'm so proud of it. And I bought it in an FLGS, which I'm extremely excited about. You get this. This is astounding, right? So, Matt Forbeck worked with Gary Gygax. This game is Dungeons & Dragons to the bone. It's like a marrow implant. It is like a bone marrow implant was done, and all the good Gary juice from Dungeons & Dragons has been injected into the Marvel Multiverse role-playing game. It's so good and so true to Dungeons & Dragons and to Gary Gygax's legacy that what Matt Forbeck did with the Marvel Multiverse RPG is he has created the first role-playing game that you can run Dungeons & Dragons with. Okay, so the game is powers, traits, tags. The attributes are literally the same attributes from Dungeons & Dragons. the names have been changed to protect the innocent, but it literally is, strength, dex, con, int, whiz, cha. It's all there, right? Like and they're 6 and 6, and they're mapped exactly, right? The names are changed a little bit, and alignment is in the game. Heroic, villainous, right? But get this, you have these superpowers, okay? But then, because you have Scarlet Witch, you needed to, and you have Doctor Strange, you have multiple warlocks, sorcerers, and wizards in the Marvel Universe. Everything that is needed for Dungeons and Dragons to run magic, right, is in the Marvel Multiverse RPG. And where you land, and this is astounding, right, is the Marvel Multiverse RPG has everything you need to run Dungeons and Dragons. And you could use the rules that Matt Forbeck created and run an Eberron game, and run a Greyhawk game, and run a Faerun game, and run a Dominaria game, and run a Warhammer game. Anything you can run with Dungeons and Dragons, you have every single tool necessary, and Gary's inspiration, Gary as a foundational, Gary Gygax as a foundation stone, 4 cornerstones, right? It's all there. Gary is 1 cornerstone. Interaction is 1 cornerstone. Exploration is 1 cornerstone. Combat as 1 cornerstone. The rule system for Marvel Multiverse RPG is so strong, so fantastic, so accurate to the original Dungeons and Dragons, with Gary's singular vision and the singular vision of Jeff Easley in the art, right? That you can use the Marvel Multiverse RPG to run Dungeons and Dragons. That has never happened before, ever. There is not a tabletop role-playing game on this planet that you can use to run Dungeons and Dragons before this one arrived, right? And many people, what many people have said is they're like, hey, this is a game that will give you a similar experience to Dungeons and Dragons. We've copied Dungeons and Dragons, right? That's not what Matt Forbeck did. It is new from the ground up, right? It is it uses a 616. It uses a completely different die system, but because of the structure, the powers, the traits, the tags, the quality that is there, and get this, because Marvel is 80 years old, and when they built this game, they needed to be able to literally, every single thing that gets put on screen, air quotes, in your Dungeons & Dragons campaign, dwarves, elves, dragons, ogres, right? It all has existed in Marvel for decades. And so this has the infrastructure that is needed to run Dungeons & Dragons, right? But what about GURPS, right? GURPS was a piece of junk, right? It was sad, black and white. If you look at a GURPS book, they're black and white. They're myopic. The game design is terrible. No one who wrote GURPS was ever inspired by Gary Gygax. I don't think you'll find Gary's names listed in GURPS books. It didn't earn the right? And it doesn't have the capability, right? This has the capability, and it earns the privilege to flip it. For the first time ever, you can use your Dungeons and Dragons books as a source book as you use another core rule book for the rules. It is phenomenal. I have never seen anything like this outside of a D&D canon hardback. And this earns the right to be called a Marvel canon hardback. That is incredible. That is awesome. That is sweet as apple pie. I am so excited about this. Get yourself a copy immediately. Don't let it happen to you. Don't let it happen to you that you end up having to buy a second printing. Every single word of that is my humble opinion. What's important is that you buy that game immediately and let me know your humble opinion when you get it. And please consider liking and subscribing, and may God bless you and yours.